Morning, everybody. Today is April 2nd. I hope everyone is well. Very brief talk today. You see, we're talking about the women's liberation or feminism. And again, the importance of this is with its connection to stuff that we've learned in the past to make some sort of ending to the story. Just a couple quick announcements. Reminder in Schoology, if you can get in, the due dates are listed there for the next two activities that are due tomorrow. One is your chapter summary, which should be shared with me, and two, your Cold War perspectives outline to the question of Europe and the United States, post-World War I, post-World War II. That's to turn it in. Same timings apply as usual. Please, many of you have, so I thank you, but join my Albert I.O. class. If you have questions on that, take a look at the stuff from yesterday. And so please sign up. If we can get that signed up tomorrow, by tomorrow, that would be great. Tomorrow is a big day for the AP announcement to tell us what the test is about. I'm scheduled to listen to the president of the College Board tonight, so I guess I'm thinking I'll know tonight what we're doing and the dates and all that stuff. So hopefully they'll roll that out tonight, so we'll have a better sense of where we're going. I kind of like I'll see when you turn your stuff in to see how well we're doing with this, but I'm hoping this is reasonable and not too painful. So today, there's no assignment. Remember, those of you, if you didn't get to the stuff from yesterday, the multiple choice checks are simply for yourself. It's a self-check. You don't have to submit anything to me. I'm trusting that you're doing it. It's there just to enhance your knowledge. So, but today we're talking about what's referred to as second wave feminism, the women's rights movement post World War II. You know, I think we know the story already of the women's role in the American war industry. The same thing happened in Europe at all levels, with the exception of Germany, really, until fairly late. But most war industries were, the openings were filled by women because of so many guys in the military. And when they came out, they expected some of the same stuff. So we see this second wave, just like in World War I. This happened, and again, we have to put this into the context of earlier activists of women's rights: Mary Wollstonecraft, John Stuart Mill. For some of you know him very well. Susan B. Anthony, the Pankhurst, the suffragist movement. Remember, after World War I, women got the vote in Great Britain, and this story continues. So there's a lot of connections between the women's rights movement and the civil rights movements throughout the world. One of the key aspects of this was the development of the birth control pill, and the idea that women have a choice whether to have children or not. That was seen as a decision for their own individual freedom. Two really important works here that you just need to be familiar with is the first one is Simone de Beauvoir, The Second Sex. Long essay. I was looking for samples. It's hard to find anything concise. It's pretty long. But the idea that was basically the history that women had been degraded and were different and therefore not deserving of equal rights. In the United States, the significant work was The Feminine Mystique by Betty Friedan. And this is put in a much more modern perspective that said women should abandon their traditional roles as mothers and housewives and work outside of the home, which is a fairly dominant position today. So the results of this, we see more women enrolling in higher education, jobs in the workplace. I believe the statistic just came out that women, in fact, have more women are enrolled in higher education than men for the first time. More women delayed marriage and child rearing, had children later in lives. And we also see the United Nations trying to spread this idea of de Beauvoir and Friedan to what we would call third world or developing countries, where women are still very much behind the West. And that, so the West is seen as a exemplar, a leader in the equality and opportunities for women. So again, the real important thing is to take Simone de Beauvoir, Betty Friedan, and put them in that long list of women's rights advocates. You know, if you want to include the Women's March in the French Revolution, if you want to go all the way back to Catherine de Medici and Isabella d'Este, you know, we have to sort of finish that story. You'll see also I have included a PowerPoint, discusses a little bit of Margaret Thatcher, a little bit, and Angela Merkel. So women have, you know, achieved extraordinarily high positions of power throughout Europe, probably much more so than the United States for sure. So that's all I have for today. So again, reminder, you have your 2 assignments due tomorrow. Please sign up for Albert. Take a look at this stuff. Take a look at the PowerPoint. A lot of it is taken right from the College Board, so you know their terminology. And you'll see me tomorrow again. Oh, the other thing is there was a Zoom invite for you on Monday at 9:30, so please check that out and arrange your schedule that you can be there. You don't have to be, but it would be nice if I could see all of you at some point or hear from you. So that's all I have for today. Have a good day.